David Carter to introduce the players, and let's get this game underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, our feature match tonight. Firstly, our first team, shortly representing the UK at the World Cup of Pool, world #1 Masters champion, Dynamite Darren Appleton. And his partner this evening, Nations Cup winner, Imran the Maharaja Majid. Our second team tonight needs no real introducing. Firstly, we have 2 times World 8-ball champion, Chris the Magician Melling. And his partner, again, Nations Cup champion, Karl Guapo Boys. Gentlemen, like for break.
Thank you very much, sir, to David Carter. I'll now hand over to our commentators for this first half-hour stint, I believe. Shirley Ang, and introducing Lynette Horsburgh.
Good evening. Thanks for having us there.
Thank you. Back again after our short break. So it looks like Imran and Chris are doing the live. They're wishing each other luck. I think it's going to be close. I think
What a lag
Imran
that is.
Darren gets the first break. I think they rock for each other? For themselves.
Just to clear up, there's a few rules in this. It's 5-star for Karl Boys and Chris Melling. It's first to 35. It's a call pocket game, so there's no flukes. And the balls aren't tapped in.
And don't forget that Karl Boys and Chris Melling get a 5-rack start.
And it's winner breaks. Have we got any predictions, Shirley, for the winner? Putting you on the spot.
Well, we did some predictions earlier, and I predicted that I was hoping for 35-32 to Darren and Imran. Sorry.
Well, I was actually going to say 35-32 as well, but I'm actually punting for Karl Boys and Chris Melling, surprisingly.
Very surprising.
So, are we having a little drink on that, Shirley?
Yeah, you still owe me one. I just got a text from Andy Appleton trying to offend us. We've never been ladies, he says.
How rude. Never been ladies. I'm actually surprised that they have let 2 ladies in the commentary box loose. I'm surprised at that. So I hope you're all enjoying it at home.
Get the word out, 2 ladies in the commentary box. Imran gets the first break. That cue ball jumped off the table.
And it's a dry break and Karl's first to the table. I actually have to say, I'm glad that Chris Melling made a big effort tonight. What's your thoughts, Shirley?
It's very sparkly.
Glittering.
That's how Melling likes it, doesn't he?
It's going to be an exciting match, really, because they've never really played anything like this, Scotch doubles, where you take a shot each. I know Karl and Chris haven't actually played Scotch doubles before, so they're both quite wild and exciting players, really, aren't they? They're very natural players, flair players.
And they are quite attacking players too, so this should make a good match.
I think it's fireworks, really, with them 2 together at the table. And I'm glad to hear that Andy Appleton is texting and said he's only kidding. Thanks very much, Andy.
Just wait a few minutes, we'll get Tony on that phone too. It's a good shot.
That's a lovely shot to get on the 4. Quite fancy them to get a run out here.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to kind of calm the nerves and really get in first. I mean, they've got 5-star, so they really want to take advantage of it.
Exactly. If they get a 7-8 score line, I think it's going to be a massive match. They're going to struggle, Darren and Imran, to get back.
I mean, what Karl and Chris want to do is freeze them out so they're cold on the table, and they're just taking advantage.
Exactly. I thought it was a massive start to get 5 of them.
Well, I did discuss this with Karl, and Karl said, well, what you've got to look at with the start is, do you think that Imran and Daz are actually capable of beating them 35-29? And it's quite a reasonable scoreline, really, if you look at it like that. When it's first to 35, I don't think 5's a big start.
I think a 3 or 4, because Chris and Karl are really good players and they know each other quite well. Right?
Well, they haven't. And of course, it is winners' breaks as well.
Yeah.
So you can really get on a roll with this. You get the first few frames.
Oh, we lost the cue ball there.
This is a message for Tone, actually, that's texting as well. I'm not quite sure what colour panties the boys are playing in tonight. I take it you was referring to the boys. I don't know, what colour do you think, Shirley?
I'm hoping for a shocking pink. You should know what boys he's wearing.
I am saying nothing on that score. I don't think he's wearing his thong tonight, actually, Shirley.
They might not be wearing anything at all.
There's a scary thought.
I don't
Anyway,
wanna know.
let's get back to the pool. And he's left a really difficult shot here for Chris. He's actually hampered by the 7 and the 8. And the 2's on the top cushion. Now the thing is with Chris, you never actually know what he's going to play next. That's the thing. That's the beauty. I think that's why he's so entertaining.
Yeah. You could like predict obvious shots. Chris does the opposite. Oh, I've got a text now. Simon the Valley. I think Simon should just focus on his kid and just leave us alone.
And he's really unfortunate there. Chris has just pulled off a beautiful 2-ball and then snookered Karl on the 3.
Really unlucky there after a great shot.
I can't see there being an easy shot out here, really. Getting the ball safe, even if he does hit the 3.
As soon as he hits it, you just go towards the bottom right corner. If he hits it.
Right, Karl is actually called the top right-hand pocket. So he's aiming to get the 3 in the top right-hand pocket. Obviously, it is a call match, this. So it's always best, to be safe and just call the pocket. And he could have left that a lot worse, couldn't he,
Yeah,
Shirley?
exactly. I think what Darren's going to do is try to play it safe. Think he can get the 3 ball behind 7, 8, 9?
And leave the white on the side cushion, yeah.
Good shot.
And that's a beautiful shot. And we've got Sam and Diwali watching at home as well. We've just had some texts in from here. He's asked us to refrain from talking about the boys' panties. Sorry. I would like to say that it wasn't me that started it, was it, Shirley?
No, it was Mr. Tony Weaver himself that requested more information about the panties. Good shot. Oh.
And that was a great kick, that. He's
I
actually
think
been
he's-
fortunate because I think he's snookered him on the 10. He's certainly hampered his cueing on the 3 ball.
I think he can just hit it and play it onto the 4 ball. I think he can.
Yeah, it was just a little bit deceiving, that angle. Yeah.
It's difficult to see it because we're only sitting here in the left-hand corner. So
It's going to play the combination onto the 4.
it's a good shot.
And he's left quite an easy 3 for
Does that
Darren
7 ball?
Appleton.
Does that 7 ball go past the 8?
No, it doesn't look to me like it does.
Should I not?
Darren's actually aiming to get on the 5, so he can just kick them out.
Yeah.
The 7 and the 8. Now, I think he's slightly overhit that, but he has got a nice angle.
To hit onto the 8 ball and get it. Well, it's gonna hit the 8 ball, yeah. Uh-oh.
And he's overhit that.
Oh.
And Dazzy's actually going to have to play a good safety shot here on the 7 to keep boys and Melling from
Getting another rack.
getting another rack and taking a 7-0 lead.
I think he's gonna put the 6 in the top left or bottom right, whatever you want to call that pocket where Imran is sitting. And then try to hit the 8 ball. Oh. It's
And that was a great pot, that.
It was good. So lucky you got stuck with the 8 ball. This is not an easy shot.
It's not an easy shot. But these pockets are actually quite generous, really. I think if they can hit it at a nice speed, there's
Yeah.
a very good chance that this will drop. Obviously, it's not an easy shot, though.
No.
But at least he's got a shot on the 7.
Simon the Valley, there's a question for you. Have you had a bet on the match? Text Cam. I don't know why he didn't text you himself. Because he has your number. Oh. Is he? Oh, that makes it not. Doesn't make it a lot easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. I think Karl would rather the 9 hadn't gone quite so near the pocket, so
Exactly.
he had a straight part on the 7.
Because now he has to call either 7 or the 9. What do you
Yeah.
call? You
Not
can't call
sure.
both.
You can't call both.
Well, you can't
That's
call
a great
both, but
thing
they
about
both
the
have to
call.
go.
Yeah. It's actually made this quite an awkward shot, really, because if he just plays the 7 onto the 9, potting the 9, he's not 100% sure where the 7's going to go.
Yeah, it could end up on the top rail.
Yeah.
Unless he plays it hard enough that the cue ball goes towards the top rail too.
And it's still relying a little bit on,
Where the 7 ball ends.
I mean, as long as Chris Melling, he's such a good potter, as long as he's got half a shot
Yeah, he'll go for
on
it.
the 7.
What did he
Karl
call?
doesn't look to be liking this shot, to be honest.
Oh, he played for the cross bank.
Oh, he's cursed there.
Oh, thank you. Don't know who sent that, but thank you.
Now, this is a really big frame, the difference between going 7-0 up and 6-1.
Yeah, it's massive.
And it's looking good now for Imran and Appleton to actually get on the score sheet.
Yeah. They're looking calm and composed. And that's one.
And Imran takes the 10 ball to make it 6-1. Darren Appleton looks quite, he always does, he looks quite mean at the table, doesn't he? It's like he wants to eat the balls.
The cue ball stayed on the middle of the table. It got kicked towards the side. That's unlucky because if it stayed where it was, he would have had a shot on the 1.
And of course, because it's a shot after the break, they can nominate. Yeah, they can nominate to play the push out here.
Where would you push it to? I would probably play to top of the table. I think that's what. Just gave him enough of a shot. Try to play the cue ball to the bottom of the table. You see, I don't know how much they can see of that 1 ball.
It's just hard with the angle that we've actually got in the commentary box to see. And they've nominated, they've put them back in.
See if they can see the left side of the 1. They'll play the cue ball to the top of the table,
Yeah.
behind the 7. If they can see the right of the cue ball, they'll play the cue ball down, I think. But I don't know what they can see.
Daz is actually pointing with his cue. There's 2 options: clipping the 1 thin and playing it slow behind the 7 ball, a little baby snooker, or playing it off 2 cushions and coming behind the 6 and the 8 ball.
Yeah.
The important thing is whichever one they go for, they have to actually get it snookered.
Yeah, you can't take the risk that you leave them anything because there's so many balls to play snooker after.
I mean, they have got quite a few balls to actually play behind, haven't they? There's quite a lot of
Exactly.
traffic on the table at the moment. Balls are quite even.
Are they going for the left or the right of the cube of the 1? Left, I think. Oh. Good
And
shot.
Imran's played that beautiful.
I think you can just. Or it's at least it's an easy kick, but where do you kick it to?
I think what he'll do is if he does need to play out the kick, he'll play at half ball, send the 1 ball up to the top cushion, and put the white behind the 10 ball. There's 3 ball, 4 ball. There's 3 balls there that he can actually hide behind.
Everyone is just listening along to their discussion.
would like them to be marked up, to be honest.
I don't know if you noticed it, but Chris and Karl are discussing their options, and Imran is just listening in to what they're discussing. But it was funny to see.
Yeah, big ears behind them, weren't they? Of course, Daz is famous for his big ears, isn't he, Shirley?
Oh, they could cut it. I think you can just swerve around that 3 ball to hit it. 1 ball gets stopped by the 9, and then cue ball back up table.
It wasn't a bad option, because obviously they've not left a combination on. The important thing is they've not left a run out for them.
No.
Obviously they're having to call the pocket, so you can't just hit it hard like I normally do when I'm playing Shirley on these shots like this.
Just hit and
And
hope.
hope for the best. There's 6 pockets. Yeah, I normally shut my eyes and hit it hard as I can, really, on shots
I
like
do the
this.
same. That might be why I'm not playing that much.
Now, how this challenge come about was because Darren Appleton and Imran, they're actually going to play in the World Cup of Pool. So they wanted some practice at
Oh.
playing Scotch
Uh-oh.
doubles together.
Oh.
Oh dear,
Oh.
and they've scratched on that 1 ball. Now Karl Boys really needs to step in now and take advantage of that. I think that's what's so exciting about this, though, with it being Scotch doubles, and they don't really know the shots that they're playing for each other. It's sort of like could be fireworks, they could be falling out before the end of the night.
Yeah, they could do. And well, I'll leave that under no comment there.
And you had a really good view there of Chris Melling's action. He's got the most beautiful action at the back, really fluent. Of course, he's got a real snooker player's action as Chris.
Yeah.
A lot longer on his stroke.
Does he still play on the snooker tour?
He's still playing at Prestatyn, yeah, on the Challenge Tour.
Okay.
He's still potting them off the lampshades, I believe, up at Prestatyn.
When is he finally going to qualify? When is he going to finally play on the main tour?
He's actually played twice on the main tour, I believe. But, you know, this is the talent of this boy, that he can play snooker, English 8-ball and American pool. I mean, there's some talent there. I mean, I've actually not been playing much American pool this year. I've been trying to stick to English pool because it's just so hard to adapt between the 2 games. I think what does me really is because at English pool it's a very light white, balls are a lot smaller, and it's okay playing English pool and then playing American pool. It's actually converting back to English pool that's a problem. And then of course potting them up the rails is just a nightmare.
I think it's
quite
easy
different.
in American.
It's easier in American, but when you go back to the 8-ball table, you're expecting to.
I wasn't sure if
Get
that was going to
down
go
now.
in. It hit the rail and it wobbled a little bit.
Yeah, they are a touch on the generous side, these pockets, which I think these boys, when they actually practice, they do practice on shimmed up pockets.
Yeah.
I mean, the table me and Karl have at home is actually, I think it's 4 inches, I think it is.